A temple town, a powerful family, a whistleblower, missing women, and claims of mass burials. A chilling set of revelations have rocked the southern state of Karnataka. At the core of it is this: Dharmasthala Manjunath Temple, located in Dakshin Kannada district, about 300 kilometers away from Bengaluru. Dharmasthala is an important and one of Karnataka's most prominent pilgrimage towns. The Manjunath Temple in Dharmasthala sees lakhs of people visit every year, including VVIPs from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar, and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. The Manjunath Temple in Dharmasthala is considered to be one of the holiest places for Hindu worship in the state of Karnataka. The temple's administrator is a man called Virendra Hegde, a sitting member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha, and he is nominated by the President. Hegde is also a Padma awardee. This family, the Hegde family, heads the powerful trust that runs this temple and is also believed to have a tight grip over the social and political aspect of this region in the state of Karnataka. But has this pious religious town become a site for mass burial? We are not saying it. A former Dalit staffer has leveled these allegations, putting and bringing the spotlight on a dark side, something that activists have been trying to flag for years now. The latest set of allegations has pointed fingers directly at the temple administration, leading to some affected families to come out and speak. The Women's Commission in Karnataka has also raised questions to try and understand what exactly happened and the scale at which this has happened, if at all. The Karnataka government says there is no question of shielding anyone in this case and has also rejected allegations of a slow investigation. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said that the government is not against a special investigation team as far as this case is concerned. But this would only be done and the decision would only be taken after the police submits their report. So what's the story that we are talking about here? Hello and welcome, I'm Shubham Chauhan. Let's get started. Now, before we proceed, a couple of things to note. First, the details of this Dharmasthala mass burial case are highly distressing, so viewer discretion is advised. And second, the aim of this video is to just put out the facts as has been reported right now and not jump to any sort of conclusions. Only a free and fair probe will be able to give us a full picture of this horrifying case. Now, let's look at the series of events, the chronology. 3rd July 2025, a 48-year-old Dalit sanitation worker formerly working at the Manjunath temple filed a complaint at the Dharmasthala police station. He alleged that he was forced to bury hundreds of bodies in and around Dharmasthala and at the orders of his superiors at the temple. Many of the bodies were allegedly of women and girls. This forceful burial, he says, went on for about 2 decades, almost 20 years. According to his complaint, when he refused to bury a body without informing the police, he was beaten up and threatened. The worker was warned by his superiors that he would be cut into pieces and buried like the rest. In his complaint, the whistleblower went on to speak about the conditions of the bodies that he had to deal with, including strangulation marks on the neck of victims and a woman whose face was burnt with acid. He alleged many of the female bodies were found without clothes or underwear. Some of the bodies bore clear signs of sexual assault and violence. The bodies bore injuries or strangulation that indicated violence. The whistleblower, in fact, also went on to recount some specific incidents as part of his complaint. In one of them, he said, a girl between 12 and 15 years was found lying dead about 500 meters away from a petrol bunk at Kaleri in 2010. She was wearing a school uniform and her skirt and innerwear were missing, and she had marks of sexual assault and strangulation. I was asked to dig a pit and bury her along with her school bag. The complaint adds, in another case, a 20-year-old woman's face was burnt with acid and her body was wrapped with newspaper, and I was asked to burn the body. I was a witness to murders of homeless men and beggars in Dharmasthala area. Now, the timeline of these incidents are allegedly between 1995 and the year 2014. In 1995, the man was employed by the Dharmasthala temple administration as a sanitation worker. His job was to clean the area in and around the Netravati river, which flows below the temple. The whistleblower claims he saw some bodies initially, but thought it might be of victims of suicide or accidental drowning. In 1998, he claimed he was first asked by his superiors to dispose of some bodies. And like I said in the beginning, when he refused, he was allegedly assaulted and threatened. Gradually, the man played an alleged role in disposing bodies of some heinous crimes, alleged heinous crimes. This mass burial went on till the year 2014. That's when he decided to act. That was the year when a girl from his family was allegedly assaulted by someone who allegedly had links to this Dalit man's superiors. This man says he fled with his family to a neighboring state, assumed a new identity, and has been frequently changing homes. Yet, the man says the threat of his family and him being killed remain, and so does the guilt of all these years for that he has done. In the FIR, the man claimed he recently returned to Dharmasthala secretly and exhumed one of the bodies he had buried years ago. Apparently, he also submitted photographic evidence to the police as part of the same. The man hasn't named anyone specifically from the temple administration in the FIR, but he says he's ready to do so if the cops give him protection. He also added that he is ready to exhume the remains in the presence of the police. Now, this complaint was made to the police on the 3rd of July, but no concrete action was taken for days. The News Minute had reported on the 10th of July that 6 days after registering an FIR, the police was yet to start the exhumation process. In fact, before we go further, a special mention to Shivani Kawa and the team at the News Minute, who have been among the only independent digital channels tracking and pursuing this story rigorously. Now, let's come back to the story at hand. After much back and forth, the whistleblower recorded a statement with the magistrate in Belthangadi Taluk on the 11th of July. The News Minute report says that he also handed over skeletal remains of a body that he had exhumed to the police. The report adds that his lawyers, as the whistleblower's lawyers, voiced their opposition to the fact that they were denied permission to accompany their client to the court despite a specific request. Then, on Wednesday, something more happened. The whistleblower, accompanied by his lawyers, reached what was allegedly one of the burial sites. They were at a roadside and waited for nearly an hour. Since no cops showed up at the location, the whistleblower and his lawyers left. Dakshin Kannada Superintendent of Police K. Arun later said that there were concerns that the witness that is the whistleblower, might go into hiding after the exhumation and that this process should not be rushed. Arun added that the exhumation would happen in line with the procedure that is set and whenever the investigating officer deems fit and gives the go-ahead. Meanwhile, the cops also claimed that the whistleblower was inaccessible and that he can't be given protection until his location is known to them. The whistleblower's lawyers have rejected the allegations, saying these are just delaying tactics that the cops were deploying. In fact, the former sanitation worker has written to the Chief Justice of India seeking protection in what clearly doesn't inspire any sort of confidence as far as the Karnataka police goes. The witness claimed that the cops leaked the statement he gave to the investigation officer. In a letter addressed to CJI B.R. Gavai, Karnataka High Court Chief Justice, Chief Minister of Karnataka Siddaramaiah and the Home Minister of Karnataka, the letter alleges that the details provided by the complainant in a confidential police statement on the 14th of July are now available on YouTube. In a YouTube video, an individual claims that the information was given to him by the police involved in this particular case. The letter alleges that either the investigating officer or someone with access to the whistleblower's statement had leaked it and that the integrity of the investigation has now been compromised. The whistleblower claimed that despite the YouTube video being publicly available for 11 hours, the police haven't taken any action. Now, another point to note here is that there is no clarity as to how many bodies, if at all, have been buried at Dharmasthala. Some unconfirmed reports say over 400 unidentified bodies were found over several years. But Dharmasthala Gram Panchayat's Vice President Srinivas Rao rejected the charges, calling it a conspiracy and fabricated. But there's one other thing that the whistleblower's complaint has done over the course of the last few days. Dig out stories of horrors from the past. Two major cases in specific, one of Saujanya and the other of Ananya Bhatt. Earlier this week, a woman named Sujata Bhatt filed a complaint with the Dharmasthala police demanding a thorough probe into her daughter's case. Now, Sujata's daughter Ananya had mysteriously disappeared there years back. Ananya was a first-year MBBS student at a college in Manipal at the time. She had gone to Dharmasthala with her friends in the year 2003. But Ananya never returned. As per her mother's complaint, Ananya's group had gone for shopping while Bhatt stayed back as she wanted to visit the temples. However, when the friends returned, they could not find her. She alleged that when she attempted to file, that is, the mother alleged that when she attempted to file a missing persons complaint at the Belthangadi police station, she was turned away. Later, some men allegedly threatened and brutally assaulted her. Ananya's mother also claimed that when she had raised her daughter's disappearance with Virendra Hegde and his brother, she was subject to verbal abuse and was told that her daughter may have eloped with someone. That is what her mother is saying. The second case is that of Saujanya, and this is one of the cases that is still not forgotten as far as Karnataka is concerned. In 2012, Saujanya, a 17-year-old student at Sri Dharmasthala Manjunath Ishwara College, had gone missing. Her body was found the next day near the Netravati river, with her hands bound to a tree with her shawl. The autopsy report indicated that Saujanya was brutally raped and murdered. Now, the girl's family says that it's the influential, powerful Hegde family and their members who were involved in this murder. But the charges have not been proven yet, 13 years since that crime. And those responsible for the rape and murder of Saujanya are still roaming free. As we record this, there is no official comments from Virendra Hegde about the Dalit man's allegations. And as far as activists and even former judges of courts are concerned, the demand for a special investigation team and an impartial thorough probe to probe the allegations made by the former sanitation worker are only growing louder. And all hopes are on a system that has clearly been seen to be falling short of the expectations that have been set. That's all we have for this report though. Thanks for watching.